sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
Y'all ready?
Let's go.
This is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Sippin' with Sammie. Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together. And I got Sav with me.
Yo, I'm in the building.
And we got a special guest with us tonight, but I'm going to let Sav introduce him.
Listen, I was so excited when we were thinking about our guest that we were going to have. I definitely had to throw the name out there. I was like, listen, I definitely think we should have his brother. He has some great information that our community needs. And it's a pleasure to have Jarue, a.k.a. The Assist.
Yes. The Assist.
Listen.
So, hardest name in the streets.
So the first thing I want to do is, I'm still not comfortable with calling myself the Assist yet.
That's fine.
Well, we will.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's right. We got
So I do want to give everybody, it's an acronym. It stands for African Support and Strength, Inspiration, and Success Together. That's what it, and I use the Assist because I'm a basketball junkie. I love basketball. Like, I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but ball is my thing. Like, so.
And his role in life.
I was about to say, and only that's what I was about to say. And your role in life, and also what you do with the like what you do for the community, like you assist, and I think it's so vital, and you're so critical to our community. Like, I really am so excited to have you here, so you can kind of talk about your platform, your interests, and the things that you do. Like, the people need to know. Like, people ask me questions all the time, like about, and I'm gonna let you get to it, but expungements and things like that.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's needed right now. Like this, we're in a world of people starting their own, doing entrepreneurship, and I'm not really sure how a record might hinder you. You might know in regards to a business or something like that, or just moving forward.
Just being considered as a normal human being after you've served your time to society,
right?
It needs certain things to happen, like expungements.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, bro.
So let's talk about you. Let's talk about all that you do.
So first of all, like, you know, I'm an open book. So I take any question. That's number one. Whatever you want to ask, you can ask anything. I'm an open book. You know what I mean? I don't have nothing to hide out here. Nothing at all. My name.
Just having good talk.
Yeah. One thing I learned, you know, as a man from doing 20 years of prison, is when everything gets stripped down, all you got is your name, what you stand on. So I knew that before I got locked up. But you got a lot of things around you that can sully the, you know what I mean? It can muddy the water, so to speak. You know, a couple of dollars, you hustle, you do whatever, you get the chicks, whatever you do, you work, you 9 to 5, boy, you got your family, but nobody know you got another family across town and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things around it that can take away, that could take away from, you know what I mean? Or keep people from seeing you. But when you in prison, it ain't none of that. Everybody got all the same shit. We all here. The only thing that differentiates each person is the amount of time you got to do.
Or their story, yo.
Exactly. But the story
But everybody has one.
That was my point. That was what I was saying.
And everybody has a story. But the thing about that is the truth always comes out, man.
That's what I was getting to, too.
Earlier,
and what people don't understand.
That's everything I was talking about.
When people don't understand about information, is in prison, all you want to know is what's going on the streets.
Yo.
So everything that's happening in the hood where you at, your homie is going upstate. Somebody on the phone with somebody telling them what happened around the way.
Guess what I used to always say when I used to be more, you know, around than I am now? Yo, I'm like, yo, the jails know everything. Like when stuff I used to call, like, yo, let's go see this person. Like, yo, the jails know everything.
So
like,
the one thing that one of the many things that I learned early on, if you frauding, it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
If you just got a gun charge and you talking about you was running around shooting everything, it's gonna be cats that come from the hood. You say you shot at.
That boy never came off the porch.
Be like, what? Hey, what? Where you do this at?
And why you say
never
that?
Come off the porch.
If you really did it, is a nigga on the other side that don't appreciate it.
Exactly. So I learned that early. The only thing I got is my name. If my name, and what I learned from that was, my name would carry through. Like cats would be, you know, at certain times I was called Big Roo, certain times I was called Masa McCallie, certain times Maz, so forth and so on. And the name always rung in a certain way. Yo, he a good dude. He an African boy. He got information. If you need something, he'll break bread. If you want to know something, you want to talk, he'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? And I did this intentionally. Like I really started telling people, like, listen, when I pass, the best thing people could say about me was, yo, he was a good dude.
Right.
Funny
Nothing else matters.
You saying passing is I try to explain to people, like, we at the age now where we living for legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything for the kids. We done did our thing. We done had our fun. We done seen how we can affect it, and we trying to affect. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to the whole part about your funeral and what they gonna say about you and what they gonna write about you, you can do things in real time and see what they gonna say about you right now.
No doubt. I'm
Right
seeing
now.
that too.
Right now.
I'm
You don't
seeing
have
that
to
too.
wait. You don't have to imagine your death to see the impact that you've had on your surroundings and your community. You can do things right now. I get saluted for shit that's regular to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. And it motivates. So I you know, don't stop it. But at the same time, it's like I want to do so much more that I'm not dwelling on that.
Yep.
But I know that somebody
appreciate it,
somewhere that's great is going to say that I was a dope individual while I was here.
But you know what that makes me think about? You spoke about legacy, and I thought I didn't even think you was going to speak about yourself. I thought you was going to talk about your grandpa.
Well, my grandfather.
So it's in your blood, right?
You know what I mean?
And that's to
Like,
you, but not only to you, but to the community.
to his
To
community.
his community, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what I thought you was actually going to speak about. So what I also want to say is
Appreciate
that
you bringing that
it's in your legacy. You know what I'm saying? It's in your bloodline. It's in your bloodline that you are from that legacy and creating your own as well.
Absolutely, and that's a great point.
So the thing with the word thing was I just had a brother on my show probably like 2-3 weeks ago, and he does party hoppers. You know what I mean? He does, you know, and it's pop. He like, man, listen.
What's party hoppers?
It's so they do all the like props for parties. Like he got
okay.
bouncy houses.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
want
yeah.
something like design, like you want your name in
360
big
cameras,
letters, right? You want your
lighting,
name
yeah.
in big letters with lights on it. He'll put it together.
Big ass 38.
Exactly. So when he come on the show, right? I had looked at his Instagram and seen him, you know, with the drill doing the shit. You know, I'm thinking he just like the money part of it. He the work.
He putting the work.
But he putting
No,
shit
he
together.
putting
So
it,
when he come on the
sweating.
show, I asked him, I say, well, damn, when you get where the creative part come from? And he was like, damn, you don't remember I took the carpentry joint up there? But he was like, you know what? I wouldn't even been able to do that if you wouldn't help me get my GED. And I'm like, damn.
Talk heavy, bro.
I'm like, damn. Like, I'm
Talk
like,
heavy.
I said, damn. He said, yo, at the tutor table. And the crazy, I had this, when I was upstate, I'm reading all the stuff that I'm reading, right? And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to aid the jail. I don't want to clean. I don't want to paint the jail. I don't want to fix gates, cameras. Even though that's a skill set, I don't want to do nothing that's going to aid my imprisonment. So the tutor joint came.
That's a hell of a thought process.
But that's fair.
But
That's
it's
fair because you have to have something. Well, multiple things, but you have to have something. And for him, it was, I ain't going to help y'all. I'm going to help us.
So I became a certified tutor and started helping the men. But at the table, it became more than tutor.
Did you already have your degree when you went there? Your
No,
diploma?
I had been to college. I was an honor student.
But you had
all
your high
that.
school degree, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So when the tutor table pop off, the guards hate it because they don't have no control over it. They don't do my pay. I fill out my own pay, John. Like all of this shit was
And they probably
calculated.
you're probably smarter than most of them.
Nah, I knew that. I
Like-
used to say shit to the guard. Like that was my way of
Would
getting
you
at
lock
them.
yourself up for a living? For
Exactly. So I'm telling them, I'm like, listen, when we doing the tutor table, it's during times where everybody locked down. So what they seeing is y'all coming from yard, they lock the whole block down, but then I go tell them, yo, let him out, let him out, let him out. And I got on Browns.
Right.
They don't like that shit.
They like,
how
how
the fuck
this-
we just locked everybody
Yeah.
in? Oh, Lawson, you ain't tutoring nobody. What y'all? You don't get to know what I'm teaching. Cause I work for the school building. I don't work for the block. I'm not a block cleaner. You can't tell me what to do. You gotta call the
That shit
school
existed
building
in my last
principal
job,
and
too.
all of that shit. You gotta
I
do
know
all
exactly
of
what
that
you're talking
to
about.
get me in
Me
trouble.
too.
And they hated it. But what the brothers loved about it is they can come to the table, talk about their kids, talk about relationships, talk about politics, sports, whatever y'all want to talk
And you was
about.
solid about it.
Because
Shit
I'm
ain't going
reading all
nowhere.
day. And I'm reading all day. I got an intimate relationship with books. That's my only resource.
Say that.
I had to learn. I said, damn, I'm not present. And I promise y'all on everything. My daughters will tell you, my sisters will tell you, anybody.
That's a t-shirt.
Like,
Yeah.
Intimate. I have an intimate relationship.
yeah, I need
with
to get, because I use
Put it on
I
the
say
shirt
it a
too.
lot.
That's all
I
right.
use it a lot.
Put it on the shirt too.
So
All
I
you need is a
knew
font.
I knew that. I said, how am I going to be able to be a resource? You know what I mean? The more stuff
know.
I'm reading, I'm learning. You know what I mean? I was the person in my family that was supposed to make it, whether it be from my smarts, from my physique, from playing sports and all of
Right.
that. It was like, yo, either you was supposed to be playing football or you was supposed to be graduating college for being something else intellectually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and I wound up in jail at 20. So now,
good for you. You're too smart for
But
your own
hold up,
good.
pause, because this is important.
Mhm.
How does that feel? Like when you sitting and you realize, like, I was supposed to, my family looked at me as this, and now I'm just a statistic at this point.
Yo, that's the reason why the books became important. Cause I said I gotta reconfigure this shit.
How did it feel?
It felt I was embarrassed. The 2 years that I was in the county, I was telling my mom and them, yo, don't tell nobody I'm locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell nobody. Don't tell my ex-girl. Don't tell any family members that don't know, any of y'all friends. If they don't already know, please. And then it got to the point where it's like people asking about you. My mom and my sister and I'm like, yo, we not gonna keep lying, telling people you down south and this, that, and the third. Cause I don't know what I'm facing at this point. Yeah. But yo, I was so embarrassed. We had long conversations. Me, my mom, myself. I'm like, yo, man, don't tell nobody I'm booked. Cause people just knew me for school, sports, working. They didn't know the street shit. Yeah, and that wasn't some shit that I really took pride in like
on
that.
The dark web.
Right. So, but that's what that was. Embarrassment, dog. Like I was embarrassed because I knew what my potential was as well to that level until I got upstate and start reading John Henry Clark, start reading Bell Hooks, start reading Angela Davis, start reading Elaine Brown, start reading Marimba Annie. And these people became my celebrities. I didn't even know what they looked like when I first started. When I seen what John Henry Clark first looked at, I was like, damn, it blew my mind. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things. I had to become a resource. You know what I mean? I had to have something that I can give my family. I didn't have the money, and my presence wasn't there. So I started. That's the reading shit. And that's the reason why the tutor table was consistent, because boys knew they can come to me and he ain't gonna be making shit up. He gonna be telling us what it is. He gonna give us books, a list of books.
I was about to ask you about that. That's what I was about to ask you. Like, so I know you said it was a place where they could be themselves and talk about things that was going on, but I wanted to ask you about the interaction.
Which is therapy. It's good for their mental health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beyond the book.
Yeah, absolutely. And you spoke to that when you said you're going to be solid. So you spoke to that.
Yeah, because that's important.
That's real important.
So scary.
But I wanted to ask about their interaction and how they
the reason why
it.
I'm saying is because of conversations.
Yeah.
Because I can talk to my brothers and these brothers talking to me and I'm taking stuff from them and I'm giving it back. But it's a therapy session. Mm-hmm. We walking the track, we working out, we at the tutor table, we having real live conversations. I allowed you and you allowed me to be emotional and all of these things without being judged. Like, no, main man saw, main man a nut, he on some sweet shit. It was a thing. What, you stressing? Yeah, motherfucker, I'm stressing. Right. I'm in jail. Yeah. Like, no, we not gonna play that game. We not gonna sit here and act like we ain't stressing about living in the bathroom with another man. I'm not doing that with y'all.
We feel the stress visiting y'all. Bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it ain't no way.
Exactly. My mom coming up there talking about her stomach hurt. Every time she get in the parking lot, her stomach going crazy. Yeah. Every time. You know what I mean? So the tutor table turned into just me having connections with a lot of brothers. Like, brothers respect me not for stabbing shit, not for fighting. They respect me because I had love for them. I showed them love. That brother came on my show and was like, yo, when I was hungry, y'all, I didn't even know he was gonna say this. He was supposed to be a guest host because the Nick, she wasn't there. My right hand sister, and I got a raw cannon. I gotta put her out there.
Shout out.
That's my sister.
Shout out to the sis. You know how we do. We hold them down, sis.
I gotta put them out. My man Mile, the executive, my brother Biz. I gotta put them out there everywhere I go. I rep PSA. Like, that's what this is, a real family thing.
Though, you know.
No, ain't no doubt. She always allow us to know that, and we can't. It's nothing we can say. You know, we gotta.
Not at all.
You know what I mean?
See my situation.
Exactly. So the brother came on there because she had an operation or whatever. She couldn't, and I ain't expect that. And I'm a crybaby. I ain't gonna lie. It don't take much, you know what I mean, to make me, because I held it in for so long. So now it's like, I don't got a problem with it. It don't take nothing, and I'm cool with it. Yeah. But he was like, yo, man, you don't remember that? You don't remember, like, yo, when I needed to talk to a cat, and you know, I'm still young dealing with all the bravado shit, and you gave me a space to be able to come and talk to you about whatever. And I'm like, damn. And I remembered it, but I didn't expect it when you came on the show. You know what I mean?
Let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
Recently, and I don't know if I told you, we was out Baltimore, and Son was out there, Son in 215, and he had Free as his guest. It was great night. My man come, Ant from Squad, he come through, and I'm like, yo, this my man, you know what I mean, Ant, the son. He like, yo, he raised me, and I was just like, I know what we've been through. I know our connection. Sav was there. Not the whole trip, the whole business side of the trip. We grew up in the same neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So I've watched him grow, and when I had the opportunity to do something for him, we was a part of that. Right. And that was eons ago. When you really look at what's been done since on everybody's front. From everybody that was involved in that situation, honestly. On some real life shit, everybody has grown to leaps and bounds beyond.
It was like 15
years ago. You know what I mean?
Without
having the success we were trying to fight for at that time. We had them in different ways, so it's beautiful.
That's
but
true.
like when you hear it, it's like I did what I thought I was supposed to do.
Yep.
I didn't do it because I said, damn, if this nigga ever get a Grammy, I'm gonna have a percentage of, or I'm gonna get the shout out.
At all.
It was
He
never.
wouldn't have took it in like
It was about.
It was very genuine.
I have an
organic
opportunity
love.
for somebody that I believe deserves it,
But guess what?
and that's all.
But guess what? You was even providing love for him before you had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because when the opportunity arose, y'all was right. It just happened.
Well, that was the thing. We had a regiment. He's a little younger than me, so you the rapper out your crew. Niggas knew I could rap back in the day. I used to be in the driveway battles and all that, but I never was the rapper. So niggas respected my opinion. They knew I knew a lot of people, that type of shit.
Right.
So when I used to see him, it'd be like, yo, every time I see you, I want to hear something. Like, if you rap, I need to hear something. Every time I see you, I need to hear something. And it went from, yo, you got something? You got something? To, yo! I'm driving by. The nigga like,
right.
I got something. Spit some shit and then be like, and I got this new CD, I just put out today.
Right.
I'm like, how much you want for it? Give me whatever you got, whatever you want to give me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
no doubt.
and so when I meet somebody that could help further you, when they like, I need a young nigga to work with, like, you know any rappers? And I'm like, I know 30 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
The one that sticks out is the one that was always prepared. The one that was already working. The one that was already putting money behind his situation and hustling and trying not to have to trap no more. You see what I'm saying? That was the one. Not necessarily my favorite rapper out of them, but he was my favorite out of all of them. No, yeah. Pick back up.
Yo, man, that was like when I be fucking with you and I be serious too. Like, damn, I'm learning from you. Even when we didn't know each other, like I was peeping.
No, he
how
always
you was,
approached me like
I
that.
was peeping how you was moving in the joint. Like the one time when you was like, yo, you can't have no dead air. You can't have no dead air on this joint. And motherfuckers is like getting the attitude because you raising your voice. Not everybody. The motherfuckers that's really trying to get it how it's supposed to go, they hear you. The other motherfuckers, who he talking to? Me, I don't know you, but I'm like, no, this what he's supposed to be telling
dead
y'all.
air. Yeah.
This how he supposed to be moving. Like,
I
This shit
appreciate
can't
that
run
from
like
him.
the basement.
yo, man,
I feel like that was
big
our
on
show, yo. I feel like that
man.
was our show when it happened. And I remember exactly when
I'm
it
big
happened.
on
I remember when it
people knowing
happened.
their roles, man. I know I'm a leader. I know I'm a warrior. But when I step in a space when somebody knows something that I don't know, I'm right there on your heels. I'm not. It ain't gonna be no. Damn, I'm 43 years old. However, I don't care about that. The information is new.
But
I
the
need to know
problem
what he's
is,
talking about.
people. Hold on, let me ask you this though, because this is the thing. People say this is a Philly thing. People, whenever I come up to people interact with people from Philly, they say that we're defensive. They say that we always feel like somebody coming at us. That's a Philly mindset. Because I feel like that's what they was. Because I remember that day. That was our show. I know exactly when it
because
happened.
he started yelling like it wasn't no y'all. It
But
was
you
like,
gotta be open to that.
no
Everybody's not open to that, and that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's a Philly thing that we just be like, man, fuck what you saying? Like, do you think that's a Philly thing?
I think it's a Philly thing.
Our
for this.
attitude sucks, and I only know because I've lived outside of Philly.
That's what I'm saying.
And I
And
used to
been
go
around
down
people
South
from the
Carolina
roughest cities in the fucking world.
every summer, and I loved it. I didn't want to stay down there because I like.
And I used to go to
the hustle
the
and bustle
suburbs
of
of Michigan, Detroit. So I know.
But this is the thing: Philadelphians have two things that make them that way. One, we are unique in a lot of ways in how we do shit.
Yes.
That uniqueness is starting to fade, but we still feel unique. And with uniqueness comes, you feel entitled to shit. Philadelphians, wherever we go, we feel entitled.
You want
Because
my theory?
we Philadelphians. And I think that's what make us be on that.
You want my theory?
Yeah.
We feel like outside of New York, we're the biggest city and we're better than them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when New York is carried the way it is and we know how we live and not necessarily saying that we are better than them, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I could probably buy a Derek Jeter jersey in the Jersey era just because it was lit. Once I moved out of state, I wouldn't wear nothing New York, nothing Baltimore.
Yeah.
I had a fire Orioles jacket actually that I got from Mitchell and Ness. That shit did not go to college with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
that's real shit.
different. Like, it's
Absolutely.
different.
I was on the low shit. I'm not wearing nothing. This what we wear.
Clearly, still
I'm
are.
not wearing nothing. When I go somewhere, I'm wearing Timbs, when Reeboks with the shit, Air Maxes, what we do, the old school Diodors and all that. That's how I moved in other places. I'll find some new shit in Philly to just be
that's how I am
but
too.
when I
But
go,
I'm out
it's
there,
all the
it's
staples.
our
Look,
look.
I just
No.
came from out of town this week. I came from Florida, and some boy came up. He was like, you're not from around here, are you? I was like, nah, I'm from Philly. He's like, I could just tell you got so much swag. I was like, oh, thank
and then
you.
when we
like,
start talking,
that's what he said. He said,
he
I heard you from Danny. He said, you just got so much swag. The way you was telling bull, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh.
The bull.
He didn't say bull, though.
He didn't say bull. I said bull.
But
he said probably guy or whatever.
When I was
he
a
said.
freshman
But,
at
yeah.
Morgan, my RA was from Philly. And he clearly had been out there since like 96. So every day,
He's like,
because it's 01. So every day this nigga had on fresh pencil pockets, fresh Air Maxes or
Shout out to the pencil
chuckers,
pockets.
and fresh polos
Exactly.
and shit. Every day. Like, and
Exactly.
niggas used to be like, yo, he wearing them skinny jeans. Because Jabos was out and
Yeah.
shit like that at the time. And they like I'm like, no, that's a Philly OG. That's how niggas give it up. Like, he never changed.
Did he have,
Till
like-
this day, I want to run into him. I feel like he still got pencil pockets.
Did he wear like the pink polo shirt?
Young boy,
He had
Top
the,
button.
he had the pink polo shirt on, bro.
Tie your hoodie string.
What?
Bro, he had a pink polo shirt on.
All of that.
That's what I'm saying.
But we all had pink shit.
No, not even
Because-
pink, but I mean floral, like just polo shit. Like
Yeah, but one thing.
every color polo crew.
No,
That green,
you had to
you
have
gotta
Easter
wear that.
colors. You
Yeah,
gotta have Easter
exactly.
colors.
That
If you didn't have
Easter
Easter
green,
colors,
you
you
gotta
wasn't a
wear
Philly
that
nigga.
yellow.
And we used to get grinded up by New York
That-
niggas
that
because they used to be like, y'all wear
turquoise
all them
blue.
fluorescent
Boys
colors
run around with
and y'all
this
wear
shit
these
like it's
tight ass
new.
jeans.
That's
And
not
soon
new.
as Cam did it, they said, oh, Cam got the
It's
world
not
wearing
new.
pink.
Yeah.
It's like, we can't even wear it no
Yeah,
more.
I'm saying
wearing-
definitely do that.
And you know I still do. I got about 4 fresh pink
Purple,
fits right
all
now.
that. Like, yo,
Yo, I
Eight
trust
pair
my
of pink
sons in that. My sons, we was coming back with
pink
the.
Pumas.
My bro was on my bro. My sons was on the plane with the coral color polos. Like definitely.
Yeah,
like,
man, that's how we give it
That's
up.
what I listen, man. That's
Staples. What do you
that's
say?
a
The staples.
staple. Like
Absolutely.
that's a good. And then it was.
It's like
crazy
you could
'cause
tell a low life when you see him.
It blew my
Yeah.
mind when I was on a run. Right, I go down Jacksonville, and that's how they rocking. That's what they wearing. The low shit. And I remember when I got booked, I really paid attention to it after the fact. When I seen Ain't No Ned video. And that's all Trick wearing. Every scene he got low shit on. And then he even say something about it. Low head and I'm like, but when I was
You
in
ain't late
Jacksonville,
with it though.
listen, they definitely, and Atlanta boys try to do it a little
And
bit.
they wore it
They
different.
late too.
He was wearing
with T.I.
oversized polo.
T.I. was doing it, yeah.
Trick was wearing oversized polo. Let's keep it
Yeah.
real. Like they wore it different anyway. Like when we wore polo, it was the clean fit.
Yeah, it's the prep shit.
Niggas
It
was
the
dressing
preppy
like
joint.
Poe
Yeah.
every day.
It's the preppy joint.
You know what I'm saying?
But that,
Shout out to my bro Poe.
I really feel like that though, and I agree with what you're saying about that because I feel like all of that fits into that uniqueness. Even with the words we say, like even with John, you're not gonna hear nobody got a word like that in their lexicon nowhere else in this country.
That means everything.
That means everything that
yeah.
stands out. As soon as you and we can't go too many sentences without saying it.
And John.
And Bull.
Bull too. I just said it.
Yeah.
You was like he ain't say that. I'm like you probably right. He didn't say it.
But it's funny because even like I watch battle rap vlogs and there's another person that do good work with iPhones, but the ones I watch are real. They good at what they do. Period.
Yeah, I'm not mad at iPhones.
No, I'm not making it like that.
Yeah.
But like, anytime somebody mentions Cassidy, they say, yeah. So Cassidy called me like, yo, ball. That's all they say. And it's like
Shout out
I know
to Cass.
Cass say bull a lot, but I'm sure there was words between the bulls.
But that's all they heard.
Listen to Benny the Butcher and all them, and they be talking about how they fuck with cats from Philly. Everybody want to say drawn. Bull, John is like, yo, it's a uniqueness, and I really feel
saying
like
cheesesteak ain't enough.
Yeah.
But guess what?
You can't just say cheesesteak. Everybody know cheesesteak.
But guess what? They kind of call us kind of like country too. Like when I used to go to Detroit, I used to go to the outskirts of Detroit, the suburbs of Detroit.
Which seems kind of country to me.
Yeah.
They are, because guess what Bull said? Guess what Bull said?
You know what I mean?
Guess what Bull said? I shut up your name here, right? So I'm talking and he like, you country, Shawty. Like,
What?
nigga,
You
no,
said
you're
that in slow
country.
motion.
Like,
You know what I be having?
You said that in slow
he
motion.
said, I Shawty, what's your name here?
The few cats that I've
You
met
sound like
being
every
incarcerated
country nigga.
from those areas, because I know the history, I'll be like, yo, you still talking like your folks from Arkansas.
Yo, but you know what it
That's where they
was?
come from.
Because we say
That's
water.
how Snoop sound
It's
like he-
water. It's water. And my family say red, head, and bed. So
And one.
that shit, it was.
That's
We
like,
say one different than her.
What do everybody
One.
say?
They
One.
be saying, they don't say, I don't know how it's like, it's out of, because even cats like from Norristown and all that, they be like, how y'all say 1 and 4? Like,
you know
all
what
that, I
fucks
be
me
like,
up?
where is this? It
Really?
sound
I didn't know
normal to
one
me.
was.
I lived in Baltimore
I
so
different.
long, I never understood why every O has a U sound. Like, how do y'all say hot dog?
Hot dog.
Like, who was the motherfucker that said, because it had to be somebody important that said
And everybody
hot
followed
dog.
suit.
And because it's a O, and the O sound is the O sound. And then when you say two, you,
bro.
It's like, yo, everything is a you, but they say bro. So where's the connection?
Though, man.
But listen, but this is my real bro, so I say it all the time. But when it's your real bro, though,
oh my god,
yeah, they say, but they say it to girls now. Girls are saying it to girls crazy.
Call each other young boy. She was a young boy. Like, what you mean she was a young boy?
Yo, but hold up,
I'm like, what the fuck,
bruh? I sent something to you because it was saying send it to people from Baltimore, and it was like Aaron earned and iron earned, but the people from Baltimore was like earn. Yo.
I tagged you with something yesterday about being too sober.
I see, because I just finally got into my new phone. That's another thing.
What you got?
Oh, it's the same. It's a replacement. I'm finally going to a new company. I just had to replace my stuff so I could turn it in.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I used to be banging out about this Android thing.
Oh, I have an Android. One's Android, one's an iPhone.
And y'all Android, this Android. I'm like, y'all Androids is cool. But then
I
when
love
I got
Android.
This John, I ain't gonna lie, that shit felt like I came out the dark age.
Really?
Seriously.
I have both.
Maybe I wasn't buying an expensive enough Android.
I'm about to say.
I do know, like,
I
the
love my
Galaxy, they got some
Android.
that's even more expensive than
Yeah.
It's
Pro-
levels,
we've seen
it's
Android
levels to
here.
that Android shit. Actually, the technology is usually ahead. Apple makes better cameras.
Okay.
But actually,
and
that's
that's
what everybody was saying.
sell it on.
No, they say that latest Samsung is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the shit, they have not really been able to keep up. Like, all the tech geeks went Android a long time ago. Okay. It's the fashionistas and the motherfuckers that act like they own stock in Apple.
Because even at the balls at T-Mobile, all the balls at T-Mobile had a Galaxy something. You know what I'm saying? They was like, actually, my joint cost $1,300. That joint $1,200. Like,
no, real
like,
shit.
What? But I had already got it. It was like, fuck it. My man took me. I'm like, yo, we already got this joint. But you right about that, because all the boys that worked there had Androids. All of them.
The geeks been left. When the boy died,
go back now.
When the boy died, they rolled. Like, I'm telling you, and the biggest thing that Apple focused on, because the only thing they could keep up with technology-wise, because they was already ahead,
the camera.
Was the camera.
And that's a good selling point,
but
though.
Once
everybody be like, yo, you can make a movie with
I mean,
this
you know,
they
the first ones that have the facing camera. Then they the first ones that had a flash on the facing camera. Then they, you know what I mean? They make it great for selfie takers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to take selfies ahead of everybody else, get you an Apple.
But all the other
this is about to see some brother sister hate right here. I know you don't like selfies, and you didn't like my pic, and guess what? It wasn't a selfie. Somebody captured it, and you didn't like my pic.
I didn't see it.
I'm just playing with him. This is your. Because
no,
he says,
you know
I don't like selfies.
I had it. You ain't drinking.
No, I remember. My bad. Before you go into that, it's another thing. Paying attention. You telling them in the John, like, yo, stop with the fishy John. Like, y'all need to stop doing that. We don't need that. So I know how he feel about the selfie John, because that whole conversation, yo, he was animated about this shit too. Like, can y'all stop doing that? Like, that shit is not what it is. No, listen, brother, this is my whole thing, man. Yo, I don't believe in not smiling at my brothers. I don't believe in dick eating. I don't believe in not loving on black folk.
That.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that, because I'm a real motherfucker.
You know,
anything that you could say that you did that's supposed to be real, I've been there.
But that's why I say.
I've been there.
That's why I say.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say this is my best, because I love that. Like, it ain't no. I don't think about it as a negative at all.
To have him here. Listen.
But I had a homegirl one time. She said, "Why you don't never like none of my pictures?" And I said, "Because you take the same picture every day. I already liked it." She said, "No, but it'd be a different." I said, "So your shirt,
you got your foot up.
Your shirt is different, or your hair is different? Because your face is the same, the angle's the same, it's in the same position in your classroom or your car. What is it? What made me say, oh shit, that was dope?"
I was just being facetious.
But I'm just saying, like, it's just one of them things that just be like, man.
I was being smart because you don't like selfies.
No, and I also seen this before out of multiple people, and I had a homegirl that's very intelligent that did this one time, and it scared me.
Hope he's not talking about me.
You ever seen when people be like in the rainforest and it's the waterfall and it's dope, it's all enchanted, and a motherfucker like this, and then they say, yo, it's beautiful. The waterfall crazy. Can you see the waterfall? Can y'all see the waterfall? Like, you know, if you just turn the camera around, we can see the waterfall, and you know you show us your face every day that you in the States. We would rather see the nature and live through you.
See what you doing.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. I let you sweat through it, though. I heard you say that.
I hate you, yo.
But it's just certain things about that just bothers me.
Right.
I mean, to each his own at the end of the day, but stop making excuses for why you're being so vain.
Yeah, that's true.
Know what the definition of attention-seeking behavior is.
But you know what's crazy?
And it's hard to say that as an artist.
You know what's crazy about everybody? You know what's crazy about everybody being vain though? really we living in a world with low self-esteem.
Exactly.
Sure.
So your vanity is fake for real. Like you're trying to create.
This is self-love. No,
right.
This is self-love.
Mm-hmm. You're trying to create this picture of what you think you're supposed to look like because you're not comfortable with what you actually look like.
You don't even ever show us the angle that everybody that sees you today is going to see you on.
He talk about this all the time.
None of us are 6'5". There's only a couple 6'6" niggas out here, man.
He says this all the time.
You only going to see a handful of 6'5" motherfuckers a day.
I'm with
He
him.
said, so most people
I
ain't
gotta
gonna
see you
him
in
here.
person. Why you doing this?
Oh, I turned my phone
Why
on.
you
But
putting all the shit on it when I gotta see you?
No, and it's like you said, let me see the person that I'm going to see when I see you in person.
When I walk up on you.
Because at the end of the day, if, say I'm interested, and I meet with you, and I'm a gentleman, we had dinner, lunch, whatever, cool. I went about my way. I'm cool off you. Because you catfished me.
Nah.
But you're going to interpret it as niggas always playing games.
Mm-hmm.
You catfished me.
No, you was playing games.
Listen,
Like the game started way before I got involved.
I always go to the same thing with this, with social media. It's so crazy, right? And you know, I'm 43, so a lot of people might not know what the movie is unless y'all around my age. But I'm gonna get you sucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember the
When she
Dawn,
took off
when
all
she
the
took
fake shit?
everything off.
Yeah.
Now that's lit. No, it's lit now.
And-
like that's the whole goal is to have the most fake
And to
shit.
take that a step further, when you listen to Chris Rock, I don't know which one of his stand-ups and be like, y'all women is liars. And everybody thinking he about to start saying like verbal shit that you say.
Yeah.
He said, them nails ain't, your nails ain't that long. Your hair ain't that long. You got them heels on. You ain't that tall.
Yeah.
That's what I think every time I be looking at Instagram.
Is he the one that say, was you like the guy that walk around with a joint right here, like a sock joint or something? Ain't that him to say that too, though?
But
those two things is what I think about every time I look at Instagram. Every time
you know what I think about?
We gotta laugh
You know
at
what I
this.
think about when I read the caption? How bad are you if I pushed you in the pool?
Hold up, two things.
How bad would you be getting out the pool after I pushed you in the
First
pool?
thing in the morning, John.
Yeah. I'm so natural. I'm so glad. But listen, it made me think about the Fresh Prince did it too when Gina was his girlfriend and she took everything off. She was like, you wasn't.
Yeah, when they was locked in the fucking
Right.
pool house. They was locked in the shed.
And I'm saying that to say, like, I agree with that when he say, like, yo, you catfish me.
No, that's literally catfish.
You catfish me.
They talk about a nigga having a beard or a hat.
Yeah.
And everything from your underwear to your shoes to what's on your face.
I don't know when my cable go out unless I call them. Because I'm the only one in my whole block that got Comcast. Everybody else got fucking Xfinity. I was like, damn, are y'all telling me?
All right, I took the mics off, so everything that's in the room now is hot. So I can at least get audio. I'm gonna grab a lantern or something with flashlights.
Can we go? No.
So we recording the whole time?
Yeah, we
just
recording.
talking?
And we riding out. You see, you don't stop no show. Let's go, Jarue.
So she just said that.
We don't stop. What you say? You kept on rolling? Let's go.
Nah, listen, I keep going. Like, I work on any. Listen. The thing about this for me is.
This Ida. Shout out to Ida.
For real, man.
Yeah.
Everything is a blessing to me. Because that's what I say. You see, I ain't tripping. Yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been in sales. Living in bathrooms with grown men.
Where you was at?
Like, I was at Cold Township, Graterford, Smithfield. I did 10 years at Smithfield. They tried to drive me crazy. It's very racist up there.
Where's Smithfield at?
It's in Central PA. It's like right around like Juniata, Huntington. You know what I mean?
So it's interesting that Juniata part is near Huntington here.
That's crazy. But it's right around Juniata, Huntington,
So my folks in Huntington, I be going up there.
Yeah, because Huntington and Smithfield is right down the street from each other. Like, you can see Smithfield from Huntington.
Really?
And Huntington is one of the old prisons.
Yeah.
It's one of the fortresses. You know, like not fortress, but it's one of them.
It's old as shit.
Yeah, it's a
It's old as shit. Yeah.
Adam Jones make your brain work a different way.
Do it
inside of those buildings. Yeah. That's the reason why they started
doing it. Are the older
doing
ones better than the new ones?
The older ones are better
Don't you
in
think?
that they're only better in that it's like
no, it's definitely better, but
the strictness, the rules, because you got a lot of cats that have been working there for so long and they remember when the jail was kind of open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus the new prisons is like they're for control, like because it's like, okay, so everybody is in a building. The one thing you're gonna get is people act different when they're not connected to nature. So you got more sadness, you got more depression, more anger when you inside of a building that's gray and tan all day. Concrete and still, as we would say. You know what I mean? So you're more on edge because you're not seeing trees, you're not seeing rabbits, you're not seeing bugs. The sun is not something that you're seeing regularly, and you're not getting it correctly.
So they should like CFCF. So Smithfield look like CFCF.
So no, Smithfield is like a college campus. Because the other part.
So you saying Huntington look like that?
Huntington is the old.
Because he be outside all the time.
No, because they got like they done built yards and stuff like that
next to him too on the floor.
So
you know
what they
like my folks was locked up for some shit. He locked up for life and for murder. He didn't even do. So that shit already. You know what I'm saying? But Krasner, I know I changed the topic, but Krasner actually been doing work with it, and I know you know better than I do.
No, he been.
That's what I want to talk about on here on camera. So I kind of want to shut the fuck up until I get on.
No, he been moving on it, and I still gotta look a little.
How you feel about Vega? Off camera on this shit. How you felt about Vega? Because Vega came to me. Was you at the joint? You wasn't at Sister Celia joint when they did the move joint.
No, me and listen. So let me get that part clear.
We not.
No. I mean, even if it is on camera, like or recorded, I don't mind. Like I said, on some real shit, I'm really not a dude that got nothing to hide.
Okay.
If that goes against my character,
as a journalist, though, you know, motherfuckers be like,
right. No, and I respect it. I asked Kenyatta Johnson some stuff, and he was like, I can't say X, Y, Z, and I respected it, but I had to ask the question. You know what I mean? But the thing about me and Celia, we ain't been rocking since I got the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because she felt some type of way you got the
she
show?
felt some type of way that I got the show, and I felt like you exposed your hand because if I went and created something for myself, I didn't ask you for anything.
And you're in your own lane.
Right.
Like,
it's different. And that's the reason why I had to get my own situation, because initially we were building one thing, and then once you got the platform, it started morphing into something else. And that wasn't what I was with. Right. And then, I can go into a bunch of other stuff about leadership skills and, really people knowing they role and you chasing likes and followers and all that. If a person got 5,000 followers, you want them to be a host. But they wasn't in the trenches up 1 o'clock in the morning with a 6-month-old taking care of my mom out here trying to write shit down, calling people, trying to make connections. You dig what I'm saying? And that's another thing people don't know. Like, I take care of my Liz, man. I'm just getting out of doing that because I'm burnt out. I came straight from doing 20 years in prison and taking care of my mom who had a stroke and now she's paralyzed, she's wheelchair bound.
Oh, wow.
You dig what I'm saying? Where I'm doing everything.
You're a real one for real, yo.
Yo, listen, I'm doing everything for her.
What part of
wiping her, cleaning her. I'm from South Philly. Well, my folks from down like South Philly and all that. You know what I mean? Okay. Down like 7th Street and all that. I ain't from there though.
You want to start this generator?
But that was my issue with her. It was like I even text her. Like, sis, you looking at it wrong. Even though she talking crazy on the text messages. She talking crazy. Like, I don't like saying this shit like this because it is, but it is what it is. I'm a real motherfucker. Like, I really was out here. Yeah. Like, I really was doing nut shit out here. The shit these young boys doing. Like, I was doing nut shit out here. Yeah. It still got that shit in me, but I never.
Motherfuckers don't get it when you portray a certain, like when you either you put that shit behind you, you trying to do something different. They don't understand.
And it's like you taking, but my personality, I'm a people pleaser. That's what got me.
You're very not even that you're a people pleaser. Like you probably are. I don't know you in that depth, but you're very like I get positivity from you. I get encouragement. I get motivation. I don't get nothing negative.
Right.
Nothing negative.
Because and listen, on some real shit, that's a choice. That's a choice.
Yeah.
I want to be on the right side of shit. Like I told y'all, I really live by that. When we leave this room, I want 2 things to be. When I leave here, I want 2 things to be said. 1, he a good dude. 2, I learned something.
Yeah.
And that's what I live my life on now. Yeah. My elder put that on me. You know what I'm saying? Cat doing 35 years in prison don't want nothing from me. He don't want me to be his goon. He don't want no food from me. He ain't on no freak faggot shit, like trying to, finesse me into some nut shit, whatever. None of that. The only thing he wanted, I want you to be better than me, homie. I'm doing 35 years. And the next young boy, the next man that you talk to, something I gave you, you can give him to make him better. Yo, man, I never had a man be in my life like that, and I ran into him in the penitentiary. Yeah. So how could I be different?
Because guess what? The realest ones in the penitentiary are not here.
Well, side note, what I say all the time is that the shit I do is I'm still paying shit forward that I'll never be able to pay.
I was going to the words out my mouth, bro.
I've had certain conversations. I've had a lot of motivational conversations out of my old head. But it's more so the part that they did shit for me and niggas that I knew for a short time, long time, that nobody does for people. Right. And they didn't have to, and they died before I could get it back to them. Yeah. Yep. So no matter what, I'm on an endless path of paying shit forward. Mm-hmm. Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a lot of that shit that was done.
So you said,
You know what I mean? I know I wouldn't be it.
So you said something really important. So as he was speaking, I want to say, so he was mentioning it, but he didn't say it in those words. And I was saying that one of my most favorite, I guess, words are paying it forward, and that's what you were doing. When I said, like, when somebody gave you information, you gave it to somebody else. I love this statement of paying it forward.
Listen, man, more than anybody, one of the things that a lot of us don't think about, and we need to, life is mental, dog. It's like when people talk about manifesting and all that is mental.
It's real.
That's mental.
But I so believe
the
it.
law of attraction and all, that's real shit. But you gotta be able to think to do it. You gotta know that it even exists for you to operate in that way.
But see, prayer is a form of meditation, right?
Exactly.
Alright, so I ain't gotta say it like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, like it's so some shit is just so simple that it's like they created ways for the average. It's like the reason the speed limit is created.
Mm-hmm.
They don't create a speed limit based on how fast you could possibly drive on this road. They make it equitable for the motherfuckers that can't drive that.
Hell, right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So there's so many things in society that are that. And I don't go against religion, but we had a great conversation with all that yesterday. You know, they all Muslim.
Yeah.
It was Boar, TT, and Stokes, and Bro.
Shout out to
So we was talking, you know, we had a couple conversations, but it's like when it comes down to religion, I don't get involved in nobody's religion because same thing that Stokes had mentioned on the joint was part of it is if you have never taken the time to understand someone else's culture and religion,
absolutely,
then you really only speaking from a certain perspective, and how much respect does that get? That's
exactly.
Anybody can read a book and learn something.
You know something I want to say? So you mentioned Chris
But
Rock,
how much
right?
do you learn from others?
So listen,
you know what I mean?
You
I'm gonna
mentioned
say
Chris
something
Rock
about
in
that too.
regards to I'm gonna get you something. He has his hand up, and one thing, not Chris Rock. I'm sorry. Nope, it's not Chris Rock. It's Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin, that's my mate.
And what he said was, forget who the messenger was. Did you get the effing message?
Right, yo, because you can learn from a crackhead. I did.
On both of y'all points. On both of y'all points. One, I'm gonna go on his point first. Excuse me. The funny thing about the religion thing, right, is, and I love those. When people say you can't talk politics, I like the religion. I like, because I've read, I put myself in a position to know what I'm talking about.
It's hard to get three people to have a conversation about politics
you probably know.
publicly.
Right.
Because there's a different weight on it when it's being recorded.
But the religion thing, I think it's the intelligence. Like he said, he's read, so he's well versed.
It becomes
some people be ignorant and not open.
You go from teaching each other to everybody having to defend an entire belief system.
Right.
And everybody can't handle that. That's why I said 3.
And my thing comes
That's why I said 3.
Just being, I be on the tip like, I'm just an African. Because this is what I know. Whatever religion you rock with, we already had the instruction, the beginnings of that.
It's on the tomb.
On our tomb.
Can I ask you something?
In the pyramid.
In the wall.
So we can get into it all day because I can relate to everything you're saying. When you say it's prayer, I'm not going to be like, motherfuckers out here praying. No, prayer is meditation.
Right.
Prayer is instruction. Prayer
mental
is
health.
Exactly. You need to hear yourself. Like what they say in Christianity, prayer, and every religion, but Christianity, I hear more, prayer without works is dead. Because what I'm doing is, I'm sitting here reminding myself of what I need to do, how I need to be moving.
You gotta have intention before you even mix a lot.
And I'm not Christian.
That's why my man became,
but I know
that's why
that
he
is.
explained to me that he became a teacher. Mm-hmm. He said, because out of everything that I could major in college, I followed Islam. Islam is about teaching and growing and all of that. Mm-hmm. He was like, the most Islamic thing I could do was become a teacher based on my ability, my you know, what my strengths were. Yeah. That was a conscious decision about his religion that went into his major in college. Mm-hmm. And now he's a female basketball coach and he's changed lives. You know what I mean?
Because that's my thing about religion too. My thing about religion is you may not be able to convert me. Yeah. But long as you real about what you're doing, you are a better person and you're gonna make other people better. And
the way I put it was, as long as you're a fair human being, I have no fucking problem.
And the flip side of that is, and I used to tell cats this: if you trying to pull the wool over on Allah, I don't stand a chance. I can't fuck.
Exactly.
Right. If you trying to pull the wool over on God,
if you know He
I can't fuck with you as a man. You trying to pull a wool over on God, whoever you say God is. Think about how heavy that is.
It's heavy.
You trying to pull the wool over on God. You acting and moving and trying to trick God. I don't stand a chance. I gotta get out your way. Because I'm just a man. I gotta get out your way.
Your mom ain't safe.
Nobody.
Nigga, your mom ain't
Nobody.
safe.
You trying to pull the wool over on
I
God,
did.
dog. That's a real, like, yo, when I first told my brother that, he was like, yo, dog, that's crazy. I said, man, you got these brothers in here running around talking about, you know, they pious bulls and all that. You said Islam don't accept homosexuality. You running around here with a chimp. You know what I'm saying? However, that's going to move. But then you come trying to tell me I should take my shahada.
Right.
Dog, I know you in there with this
Not
bull.
but you gotta live by example.
Yo,
Like,
if you trying to
lead
pull
by
the ball over on God, homie. God. Like when y'all get a chance, I know y'all probably doing it right now, but I always be thinking about this shit to myself. You got people in the church trying to pull the wool over on God.
You just said the same thing.
I don't stand a chance, man. I gotta get out the way.
You said the same things. I wasn't going to necessarily people that Islam, because I think that's a religious thing. You have so many religious leaders, so many people who claim to be such a thing.
Now, can I get, since we're talking about it, I might as well state my theory on why religion and politics are so dangerous conversations, right? Beyond whether it's public or not, just even in private, why it's such a touchy thing, it's the touchiest thing you can touch on, is because it's literally telling people that the person that they trusted the most lied to them.
Yeah.
Because where do you get your religion and your politics from? Now you're calling my mom a liar, my father, my grandfather. Also, the second part of that is people base who they are. Like, I'm a good person because of this.
Right.
Whether that's a political belief or a religious belief, people look at those the same. They fucking coincide. You know what I mean? Like,
That's real right.
so it's one of those things where it's like my existence, everything that made me want to do right, you're fighting.
You questioning it. You making me, and then I get into the history shit. So I start messing with people in this way, not messing with them intentionally, but I'll be like, when the brothers be saying, you know, on the strength of Allah, and I'd be like, who, Allah? And they'd be like, no, I said Allah. I said, no, who, Allah? Because in that area, it was a female god. The Ethiopians was there first. Before we intermingled with Europeans, them Aryans that came out of the mountains, the ones we was keeping them up there with the fire, because they didn't know what fire was at that time. Their progression was different.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That whole area was Ethiopia. And the god was a female. The reason why she was a female, because the only thing we see bringing forth life in real time was females. We seen the hippo, we seen the snake, we seen the chicken, whatever it was that was giving birth in real time in front of our face in these areas was women. So and we seen our women.
So what would be that?
Exactly.
Right.
So now,
at the most fundamental level,
She the only
that
one
makes
guy
all
at that
sense
point,
to
or
me.
they had multiple?
they had multiple, and this is the other part
She
about
was
it.
a living guy.
They paid homage to a lot of things, and people mistook this as them saying it was God. So if we live near a river and we understood that the river provided certain things,
everything that
we would pay homage to the river. If we lived in a forest and we seen that the fruit was coming from certain trees, we paid homage to that. Animals, whatever it was that we knew was helping us sustain life, we paid homage to
That's
it.
a respect.
And as time went on, it was mistook as, oh, you're worshiping this. No, I'm not worshiping anything.
But I'm thankful for it.
I'm paying homage because I know what part it plays in sustaining and promoting life.
Yeah.
And then a religion can come out of that. You feel what I'm saying? And then it's another thing that people get twisted up is where we talking about religion and we talking about culture.
Yeah.
People get those two things mixed up a lot of times. Right.
Because on a lot of levels, if you really dig into the definition of a cult, damn near every religion started as one.
Exactly.
And it sounds crazy to say because the major religions are what they are and it seems timeless in their genealogy. But just imagine
what's the
one
definition
person,
of a cult? I mean, it says it right there.
The only difference between a cult and a religion is numbers. Let's get down to let's get down to the basics. The only difference is the number of people that believe it.
All that.
So when people were going on crusades to bring religion to other people, how were they looking?
Exactly.
The same as you would look at somebody nowadays that has a new belief.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The same exact way. There's no other way.
You bringing the sword. You bringing the sword.
Somebody said something recently. Damn, I wish I remember what it was. He was like, could you imagine being somebody that was intellectual and innovative back in the day? Like if you,
That's why they excuse
if for years we swam across this river or this lake or whatever is equivalent, and then one day I say, yo, I got this thing that we can sit in and get to the other side, and we call it a yakapi, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we could go over there without doing this. Motherfuckers would have stoned you to death. What is this wizardry?
What is it? Yo, listen, I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Like, do you know that's how a lot of people got labeled?
I love being able to be in an environment where people got different understandings, but I'm not always the one feeling like I'm lecturing a motherfucker. Because when he said, because that's how I feel when people don't have information. When you trying to get people,
it's the same shit.
I feel like you always lecturing a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I don't want to like you fighting. I want to have a conversation. You know what I mean?
That's what I said. That's the one time I ain't gonna put a shirt on.
That's why this pod is conversation based instead of topic based.
And that's
because people have to learn how to have conversations.
Exactly. And like Bell would say, man, that's the best form of educating somebody. Yep. Being able to be in a comfortable space, and maybe not a comfortable space, and have a conversation, motherfuckers is learning. My elder used to tell me this all the time. Like, certain dudes used to come to us, right? And they want to challenge everything we say. They want to argue. And he said, I guarantee you, when you leave us, he gonna jump on the phone and tell people everything that he just heard. Because that's the way he learns.
So you know what?
Through that debate, that back and forth. You know what I mean?
He is heavy.
Because I got a homie that used to like, all right, this is what he would do. I'll give you a perfect example. We all be on the steps. We just got done hooping, whatever. A bunch of uptown Philly niggas. So everybody fly and they on the right? He said, yo, so if you went in the store and you seen a Pepsi hoodie for $30 and you seen a polo hoodie for $30, which one would you get?
You ain't in the polo.
And niggas is like, the polo, what the fuck are you talking about? But why though? Because Pepsi don't hold the same weight. Like, it's simple to us.
Right.
But he used to pick arguments like this all the time. And what I realized when he picked this one particular argument was somebody tried to explain something to him and he only caught half of it. So now he's trying.
Puzzled, though?
He wasn't acting puzzled. He was challenging everybody and telling us that we were slaves to fashion. Where you just told us that a polo cost the same as a Pepsi.
Right, and for me,
it's not even. You know, you could have at least made a better argument if you said FUBU.
Right.
Or it might have been a better argument
like you just said,
because that was black owned.
Quality. If you would have went straight to, well, yo, did you feel each of the hoodies? Which one felt like it was more sturdy? Like, you know what I mean? Nobody says that. Everybody, nah, polo. Why the fuck would I buy a Pepsi? Right. But it's both. They both hoodies.
But at the same time,
that's crazy.
Why did you bring it? And he couldn't. He started an argument when, in all actuality, he was trying to explain something to us.
I get it.
That he halfway learned.
I get it.
You know what I mean? And then I have another kid from my neighborhood that taught me a lot. Because I watched this young boy walk down the playground every day, start a fight with everybody that's having fun, get jumped, chased home, and come right back 2 hours later and do the same thing again. And I realized some people will take any kind of attention they can fucking
I got a young boy in my class. He coming there. I tell everybody, yo, y'all gotta sit in the middle of the class. He wanna stand on the side. I said, what you wanna do? He was like, I'm like, well, you can leave. Cause I'm not giving you an attention. I know what you want. Then now that he's seen that, right? Now that he's seen that, every time he come in, now he wanna sit by the desk. What's up with you today? He wanna stare at, oh, I'm lit, this, that. He wanna go into all that. I'm like, dog, I'm not feeding him this shit right now. I'm about to teach this class. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that's all you want. You want somebody to pay you some attention. You want to distract the whole class because now that makes you powerful. Right? Because you getting this attention.
Still this power.
I can't give it to you no more. You gotta sit here. It's 30. It's 29
There's too many other people that lose if you
exactly. What I was gonna say was my 7-year-old. That's my thing as a parent. Like, he always gives me pushback. But what I want to say, I tell him like, yo, you should be a lawyer. Like, since you got an argument for everything and you always make like something right, like you find the right in every fucking wrong, like you might as well be a lawyer.
You know what you need to do? You need to educate yourself enough to back that up.
Exactly. Right. That's what I told him. Ask him why, the why and everything. He talked about that before.
My daughter, that's what they hate. She didn't get her degree yet. Her sister got her degree already. They both was going to Franklin and Marshall. You know, I'm jail educated, but I'm highly educated. And one thing I will not let anybody do, it's not a pride thing. I put work in to learn the shit that I learned. You're not gonna just
Act like
poo-poo that shit, as they say.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. Nobody. If we gonna argue for 2 hours, you're not gonna sit here and tell me right is wrong and wrong is right. You're not gonna do that. When I know for a fact, it's certain facts that's just facts. It is what it is. So every time I get into a situation, the thing with them, they young, they educated. She's 23, her girlfriend 24. They want to try to, they love it though. Because they know I'm going to defend my point. It's nothing that you can say to me that I'm not going to be able to defend.
But you're also,
you know what I'm saying?
Grooming them.
Exactly.
Because the engagement exists.
Exactly. And they love it. We start talking about LGBT stuff and all that. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm going to stand on what I stand on. We're going to ask these questions. We're going to ask these questions. We're going to talk about this stuff. What y'all want to talk about? I'm here. We're going to do it till 4 in the morning. I'm with that too. You know what I'm saying? And it's a challenging thing. Like
y'all think y'all got time.
Right. I got time. Like all that time I fell asleep on paragraphs and had to read them over. Oh, this is my shit. I'm getting it off now. What was it for? I'm getting it off. But my daughter, what I notice is she takes all of it. She sucks it all in. Her girlfriend too. And then when I hear it come back out in their way, it's like that's the win.
But that's my argument.
That's the win.
That's my argument for people when they say these little motherfuckers don't want to hear us. They ain't
No,
listening
that's
to
bullshit.
us. No, you gotta realize. First of all,
they listening.
You need to give them a reason to respect you.
But they listen.
Because
either way.
there's too many adults that they were organically supposed to respect that don't live respectful. So they are on defensive.
Yep.
And that's fine because they're children. They're protecting themselves with what they know how to do. It's not a problem. You have to be consistent. But I've been a little brother before.
Right.
And my sister said, when I gave this example on this pod a couple times, my sister told me one time, why you leave your hats all over the floor and bending them up? And now that the guys in my school, boys in my age, they don't do that. They can take care of their hats. I had 100 hats. I was just happy with having 100 hats. I didn't care about the condition.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had 100 of them. If it was fucked up, I throw it out. But I would fuck it up.
Right.
Like I didn't try to take care of it.
Right.
And I said, I don't care about them niggas. Da, 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 da. As soon as she left my room, I threw away about 15 hats that was fucked up, and I started taking better care. I heard it, but I bucked back.
Yo, you know what? Is this a crazy like this? It should be affirmation shit. Like
no, it's real.
Yo, I tell my students this all the time. I be like,
you heard me.
Some of y'all. Yo, some of y'all.
I'm gonna be the voice you hear
like
that sound. You want it to be.
You exactly. I'll be like, some of y'all gonna listen, some of y'all gonna not. But I know for a fact you hear me. I know for a fact you hear me. Like the other instructors and all that, they falling asleep, or they laying on their head, they doing this. They hear me though.
Yeah.
I don't get caught up in all that. They hear in this room.
How many times
they hear me though? I know they do.
And you gave it up right away. You don't give it up right away. But let something happen. What voice do you hear in your head? That means you heard it before.
I'm repetitive. Like one of the things I say to them a lot be like, yo, we on strategy in here.
Absolutely.
And if you're not strategizing, you're a part of somebody else's strategy. And if you're a part of somebody else's strategy, you ain't in control. And I say this shit over.
That makes you less of a man.
And I know they get it.
That makes you less of a man. That makes you less of a human.
I might say less of a person.
But when you talking to young men, you have to understand, in order to lead, you can't follow based on glitter and bullshit and likes and like that's not the real world. You don't get paid through that shit.
I absolutely get it that you talk about as a man, but I'm gonna just say as a person because
you right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that.
One thing is like I was thinking about. I was just letting y'all finish. There's one thing that I always say because you said it's like it's nothing. It's not instant gratification. It's not instant that they'll understand it. But like to this date, like I was raised with my dad, which I was saying it's not about men per se. But like when I say to my dad, they don't feel. I used to hate. I ain't gonna lie, I used to cry when I had to go to my dad's house. When I went to my mom's for a week, I used to cry when I had to go there. And now almost every day, or at least once a week, I tell my dad, I know you're tired of hearing this, but thank you for everything that you did for me. Because my dad put me in a position to I know him because of my dad. My dad put me in the private school that he put me in which I met him.
Yeah, my dad.
You know what I'm saying? And I was in so many programs, like, and I didn't realize, I feel like I was networking since I was like a child, like since I was like a little kid because of the circles.
You still operate through that network.
You know what's up? That's crazy. When I was in high school, like all through school, I was an honor student.
What school you went to?
Now I went to Barstool Motivation.
Okay.
But I could have went to ENS. I could have went to Central.
That's
I
where
could
I
have
went.
went.
So you
to
didn't go for
Masterman.
schools though.
Yo, I gotta listen. I gotta. The reason why I know that them schools even exist, because I'm gonna be real with you. If you talk to a lot of people that just had a regular high school experience, they don't know them schools. Right. They don't know what Masterman was. They don't know what Central and Girls High was. They don't know the prestige that comes with those schools.
I went to ENS in Roman.
The geography bowl. I say that to people. You ever been in the geography bowl? Nah, but everybody I know that went, that was honest student, went there, they knew what it was. Either you participated or you knew people that did. They didn't know what it was. So I'm like, my thing with that be like, yo, I'm meeting these people again. Like Erica Stewart that I deal with, she was one of them. Like, yo, I was in all the schools. I was an honor student. It's like everywhere I go now, I'm back at it. And all of these, everybody that I know that was in these schools, that was young, for whatever reason, it was one thing that they understood. They understood our potential. Even if our parents didn't understand it, even if our neighborhoods, these schools understood it. The people who maintain control understand who's really gifted. You know what I'm saying? And we start learning each other by being in 701, 801, 802, 301. Because I don't know if y'all schools, y'all grades was labeled like that, but that's how ours was labeled. The top class was 301.
Ours was in alphabetical order because everybody was 301.
Yeah, but see, no, when I was coming through school, when I went to Meade, when I went to Turner, and when I went to Barstool Motivation, when I went to Barstool Motivation, it was all a number thing. The honor students were either in 01 or 02.
Okay.
And as you went down, that's where the grades, and then you went into special ed. And that's a whole nother conversation. LD and special ed, how that's an attack on our kids. That's a whole nother conversation. ADD. Exactly. All of the junk science. That's something I tell people too, man. Don't look into what junk science is. Because junk.
Salute to Mama Rice. Shout out to Linda. No, a lot of people don't know this unless you probably tune into this pod regularly.
Right.
I was born with Johns's epileptic. By the time I progressed into school, I was dyslexic. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I have all of these things. Like, I have one verse that speaks on it. And I say, like, my body was fighting against me. Like, I couldn't give a fuck about what you thought about. I had to fight these things.
Right.
But one thing that my mom did that I was aware of was they kept changing my prescriptions for my epilepsy. Mm-hmm. And some of that shit is tranquilizer for children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And Linda never went for my boy not being my boy. You know what I mean? And she, at one time, you know, like, she took me off of a medication because of that. And I had a seizure, but I didn't die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they had to readjust and figure out another way to handle my situation.
Yeah.
The experience was something I was used to.
Right.
I had seizures. Always in my sleep that I can remember. But, like, part of the reason I'm sure I hate hospitals is because I spend so much time in them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like her awareness of, like, I don't want him to have this thing. Like, she never let me play football. You know what I mean? But at the same time, and nowadays I agree with it, but back then you don't understand. When I played street football against the niggas that played for the Wildcats and everybody else, I was good. But I never got to prove
the impact. You understand the long term?
Yeah, what
I didn't have understanding
but information.
That's you know what I mean? CTE is 5 years public.
Absolutely, I understand. Absolutely.
5 years public. The NFL spent billions to hire CTE.
Yeah.
Let's be for real.
No, I get you.
And they've been on it.
But what I will give her is that she always knew, like, no, that's too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not going to.
And I definitely agree with that. I wholeheartedly believe in medicine.
And mind you, was in class with me when I was going through.
Exactly. And just to bring it to music a little bit, this is another example, and I don't know how y'all can take it, but Big Sean has this verse where he talks about how he had a heart condition when he was 19, and
his mom went the herbalist route.
Exactly.
When the doctor told him he needed surgery.
And then when he went and he took the natural medicine, and then he came back and they told him, "Damn, you don't need the surgery." Because I think it was magnesium that he took.
She gave him
for 2 weeks.
Oh, listen.
And they said they were amazed.
Amazed, exactly.
But you ever heard the story of the guy the doctor whose mom got cancer, and he gave her all the super foods and all of that shit, and went against medical science.
Yeah, absolutely. But hold on, one more thing. So my dad was carrying me. He was 32. No, he was 36. He was carrying me. I was 4. I still remember it, actually. We lived right in the corner from Brandon Road in Wilson. My dad was carrying me up the steps, and he fell. And he cracked. Actually, the wall has a dent still to this day from his head hitting it. And he had myasthenia gravis, which is a form of muscular dystrophy. And rest in peace to my uncle David Herman. Dad passed away, but he gave my dad some natural medicine. My dad no longer has that
condition
anymore. Right. Not at all. My dad used to like blink a lot, and he
That's the crazy thing, right? Not just crazy for me, not crazy in that. Yo, in the 80s, right? And I'll never forget this shit. My mom was on all herb shit. All herb shit. None of us was getting sick. Like I'm talking about colds, none of that shit. Me and my brothers and sisters, never. All herb shit. And I remember I turned 14. I'm like, Mom, they got you on some bullshit because I don't know no better.
Right.
Mom, they got you on some bullshit. Like, yo, what are you taking all this shit for? They scam you. And she like, yo, I don't know a whole lot. Right. I don't know a whole lot. Because my mom was like,
they were saying Dr. Sebi was a scam back then, though.
But then when you read, like, it cold. And the point, the point that I'm
versus religion, I couldn't even have nothing concrete enough to answer that shit. That's
but the point the same as what I said.
Because they said there's no real definition of religion. They said religion is somebody that's accepted by government, called ain't basically. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring it up.
It's a numbers game because
I'm not even gonna bring it up.
Because
you know how I am.
Because depending on the sway of the culture, the ethos. What people do, like Islam, a lot of people run around, they garbed up. You know why? You know why you garbed up? Because these people come from
where there's
sandstorms. The beard
I know.
is a desert thing.
Then you got all that.
That's a windbreaker for the desert. That's cultural.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's cultural.
I didn't even realize that until I was born.
But it's said to be done out of homage.
But like absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I was born and raised Muslim, so it's like I was born and raised Muslim. But I was talking to a girlfriend who converted. And when she was telling me, I was just talking about Salat and different like surahs and things. She was like, yo, so many people don't know. Like she was naming certain people who didn't know how to make Salat. She was like, they just did it because it was what it was. And I'm like, yo, like people don't understand like the importance of. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like
when we go back to intention.
Yeah, exactly. So before every Salat, you have to make intention. You have to make intention.
Go back into intention.
So I was like, yo, people don't understand. Like, it was crazy. And I didn't know that because that's not how I was raised. So I didn't understand.
And one thing that I could, like, and we speak about Linda all the time, but one thing I give going is in her journey, she read other books. She tapped into other people's things. She didn't subscribe to everything, but she learned a lot about, like, come on, man, the dream is to travel the world. You want to go to the world and not know nothing about what the world do?
Absolutely.
Like, I don't understand, like, and please realize that abs are created to keep you in your hood.
Yeah.
You can get groceries, sneakers, all type of shit, hair done on one fucking block. You ain't never got to go nowhere. But that's not the dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's not living. You know what I mean? To live is to be able to say, you know what, it's cold, I'm going to go where it's hot.
The crazy thing is, on some real
you know what?
Like, cliche
shit is corny out here, I'm going to go learn something.
Cliche is, what I thought about was like into the dream. Like, I really thought about, like, I know you're over there. But like Martin Luther King dream, like really, like when you say what the dream is, like the dream is to go where you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, so.
Progression.
Absolutely.
It's to be able to have a story to tell motherfuckers, to be able to inspire some different shit. Because these kids are already going to know more than we do. Because of the internet.
Yeah.
And the access.
And it's so different.
The social media. They have, like, they can talk to somebody in China directly. And
but
we couldn't do that without a whole system in place.
Two things I want to say. Two things is heavy probably. But my four babies, they're both 7. They close to age. They're not twins. But they don't know. They kind of remember because I told you they don't want to dress alike because they're tired of people asking are they twins. But anyway, people they barely barely remember a pre-COVID world. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of fucked up. Like they don't understand about like being able to actually socialize with people like on that level without masks and seeing who people are and touching people and being able to be in close quarters with people. They don't understand that. But the second thing I wanted to talk about was
how large a percentage of their life was COVID? You said they.
So at this point they 7.
Damn near 2 years of this shit. That's a large percentage of the time that you were aware.
Yeah.
See, my thing with that, more like for me, is I never was in the house.
Neither.
Like
None
the
of us
whole
does.
time. And it was because at one time living on 19th in Ontario, my mom lived in Chester. So I'm constantly driving back and forth because I'm a caregiver.
Yeah.
And then I have a baby.
Yeah.
So my daughter was born, Suhana was born February 23rd, 2020.
Yeah.
So that's right before.
That was 2 weeks before. It was
right.
It was 3 weeks before.
Right.
That was
so
the
now,
time I got it.
So now it was like, yo, I can't stay in the crib because I still got to go out here to my mom. And I'm dealing with an elderly person and a newborn. Never got sick. Her mom, I feel like her mom had it the week before she had it.
It was a lot of people knew, but we didn't know what it was. A lot of people had it, but we didn't know what it was.
Right. So, but the only thing I'm saying about that is, for me, and I wouldn't tell you how to, I don't even look at it like a pre-COVID thing. Because to me, COVID is the flu. It's the cold when people first start getting the cold, when they first start getting the flu, and people start doing different things in society. I'm not saying that it didn't exist, but don't let it be like, not saying that you believe it's the boogeyman or nothing like that.
It's not even like that, but you gotta think our kids don't know about not wearing masks.
Right.
You don't know about them. Like my kids had to wear. So listen, I even got them the face shields so they didn't have to wear a mask, and they teach you what let them wear the face shields. You know what I'm saying? So face shields, that's pre-COVID. We didn't have face. We didn't have stuff like that.
That shit still blows my mind.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's not about the disease.
Wearing a mask, shit still blows my mind.
How many years did they socialize before the last 2 years?
Right.
Of awkward socialization. The portion that they remember, they don't remember when they was 3.
Right.
They don't remember when they was 4.
My kids do.
Not, but like
4 is like the
I mean,
I still remember when I was 2 and 3.
No,
so I'm thankful.
I'm talking about socially.
Yeah, no, I do.
You do?
I remember nursery school.
Well, I don't know.
I remember.
Nothing makes sense. She drinks and smokes water.
Everybody says this, but listen, I remember going to my grandma's house. I was 2 because I could barely walk. I was like 2, and I remember taking off like it was this. I think it's a carrier. I can't read it, but I think it's a carrier. The magnet that was on like the front of her sink. Like I remember like picking at that shit all the time. I used to go to my grandma's house. I told you, I remember so many things. Like,
that's not the socialization.
I remember being in nursery school. I remember going to Winfield Academy, a small building.
You know, the one thing I remember from nursery school was when I kicked the boy in the mouth with my muddy boots, and I got in big trouble.
I remember the building, but I remember
that.
I can tell you my nursery school teachers what they look like. I can tell you my nursery school teachers look like and everything. Like,
that was one of the days.
That's crazy.
That was the first day I became bad.
Yeah.
You know when you get the label as bad. When we was supposed to be napping, and I got into it with that kid, and I kicked him in the mouth with my muddy boot intentionally. I remember knowing like my boots is muddy. This will be fly.
This will be fly.
I became a bad kid.
Yo, it's crazy. I don't even remember it now. 4 is gangster. Like I got dumb memories at 4. Like at 4, kindergarten, moving in North Philly, all that. I remember a whole 3. I got 2 joints. 1, it was a chair, a recliner that my grandmom had that nobody was allowed to sit in.
It's like you remember that joint.
With music on.
It's
and
like
I remember being on the joint and getting yelled at about it. And then when I asked my mom and them, they was like, nah, she got rid of that chair before we moved from South Philly. So I'm like, well, damn, I must have been 3. I had to be 3.
You remember?
We moved to North Philly. We moved to North Philly at 4. The summer that I turned.
But listen to what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not argumentative. When it comes to what my original point is, how many years of socialization do they remember before the 2 years of non-socialization in the same way?
No, you're right.
It's damn near even.
Absolutely.
Because even if you say it's 3 or 4, there's 7.
Right. Okay,
You see what I'm saying?
So at 5, they remembered being able to socialize and interact with people
without
masks and all
that.
You know what I'm saying?
And they can see that,
So
but at
my
the same time,
first grade,
this became a new normal for them. They don't have that much time for where this is not normal.
So look, Warren did first grade in the midst of COVID. So he did kindergarten normally. CJ did kindergarten and first grade normally. So they went to school and they didn't have to go home.
Kindergarten and first grade being completely different is kind of crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of crazy when you think about it.
The way my kids talk about COVID is funny, but it's not funny. They like, yeah, COVID messed everything up right now. I'm like, yeah, like.
But just imagine, and I mean, shit, they got life to live and they gonna figure this shit out for them. But imagine the kids that they grew 16, 17 years waiting to fucking
go on their
prime night, prom night, graduation. You know what I mean? They lost a lot,
right
and they have a bigger window.
For me, I lost that to the streets, and it was almost seeming like it was cool. Like, man, fuck
Like, who cares?
Who cares? You can go out.
I'm lit. I got more money than my teacher. I got more money than my
That's
teacher.
how I was.
But they looking forward to it.
I went
And
to prom. We went to prom so that we went to prom for our parents, just like we graduated for our
Right,
parents.
exactly.
People used to walk, even in college. Motherfuckers walk across that stage. They did the work. That graduation is for their parents.
Yeah.
Because your parents did
But I
the work
wish
to
I would
get
have
you
knew then
there.
what I know now. Because
A lot of motherfuckers be like, fuck
Yo,
this
I
shit.
think no. But that's the thing. That's
That's
the reason
life.
why
It's life.
at our day I be on
But
that
that's why it
time
means
with
so much to your parents.
I'm about to pledge
Also, the
graduation.
fact that we're
I'm
not that far
You hear me,
removed
bro?
from a generation of, yo, I'm the first person in my family
Right.
to.
You hear me, Yoda? Hold up. I'm about to pledge grad chapter. No.
No, listen.
That's
I now I wish I would have pledged for a fraternity because when I went to school, I had been out there already, so it was like, ain't nobody telling me what to do. Ain't nobody gonna whoop me. Ain't nobody.
That's
gonna
how I
teach
was.
Me.
Me
I'm from the
too.
streets, dog. Like ain't no dude telling me what to do.
You
I ain't
speaking to yourself.
But
Yeah,
but it was crazy because I had a real close friend who was pledging.
Me too.
And the shit was emotional when he went over and I went to the joint
felt
and
like
he
you
went
felt
over.
it, yeah.
I was
No.
like,
I've been there.
like,
Me too.
I'm the
but-
same nigga,
But
bro.
I'm from where I'm from, man. I ain't going through
But
all
no,
that.
my shit a little crazy though. Cause me being at Morgan State, I'm at a black college, bro. And Morgan was coming off of a time where damn near every fraternity and sorority organization had got suspended.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they was all trying to rebuild. Like you have 2-3 year suspensions. The seniors are trying to get big classes to come in
Yeah, so they can
to pass them. You know what I mean? And I'm running around with 30 thorough niggas in the freshman class.
Exactly.
I got recruited, and I'm considered the leader. I never named myself like y'all. You said you would never. Like I never claimed that, but I was always having conversations.
I don't
like,
think a
bro,
leader claimed that as a fucking leader.
exactly. But the thing is, I realized that it meant that all the promoters for the parties, they called me.
Yeah.
It meant that all of the organizations and the fraternities, they attacked me. Even the old heads, the ones that worked in the alumni office or some shit that was old IOTAs, them niggas was trying to and telling me, I can't wait to fuck you up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what's funny about
I had the biggest, I was LeBron.
The craziest thing about that, when
I was
at
LeBron.
IUP, it was a lot of people like, yo, we want you in the fraternity. We want to catch
No,
like
real
you.
shit. They
And
see solid.
The funny thing about that, when I got booked, that's what all the Muslims used to tell me. Like, yo, you gonna make a great Muslim. Why you don't take your shahada, bro?
No, it's the same shit.
Why you don't take your shahada? I was like,
Hold up, though.
yo, that shit used to blow
No,
my mind.
it started
Like,
before
man,
that. I don't know if you was paying attention. Remember the Israelites?
Yeah.
You ain't never had no conversations with them?
But hold up. Let me tell you, I got a
Same
whole different
conversation,
story.
bro.
I got a whole different story.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I got my joint is
That's
a whole
crazy,
different,
man.
completely different angle. You know why I
Same
didn't judge? Because the sorority that I wanted to go to, at that point, they wasn't respected because everybody was skating, everybody was paying to get on,
Mm-hmm.
so they wasn't respected.
Oh,
So me, the reason why I didn't go because I was too light for the dusters. They weren't fucking the dusters weren't really fucking.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
You know I know the culture.
That
So
life-
when I
I'm
say
so
shit,
real.
I'm not
They ain't
shooting
even
in the
know me because I'm real as shit.
I'm not
My whole
shooting in
point
the
is,
dark.
That's a real
I was
thing.
like, oh, y'all not respect. I'm gonna go this way real quick.
No, that's a real thing, man.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
light skin dark. Yo, I was just having a conversation.
The fucking school day shit.
Yeah,
the
that's
same
real
shit.
shit.
It is.
Listen, I just told somebody school days made so many people go to school.
And what's
Different world makes so
Different
many
world.
people go to school.
Yeah,
different world.
The power of imagery.
Everybody wants
but
to
it's
go to
real
Disney.
too. I love the episode, and I've been seeing the highlights lately when they were talking about the highlights when Dwayne Wade was Dwayne Wayne was highlighting the difference between HBCUs and PIs, whatever. Traditional university. His homie, like, yeah, you need to come over here and do this. He was like, nah, you know what? I'm getting over here, and he laid it.
Well, you know
Damn,
what my
like,
aunt told me, and mind you, my family is big, has
He does
always
lie.
been big on HBCUs. Like I said, my sister went. But my aunt said, and my aunt was very educated. She double masters and all
Absolutely.
that. Like Hazel
Shout out,
was the shit.
rest out.
Rest in peace, Hazel. That's my heart. But she used to be like, when you go to a black school, they're not going to give you what you want, but they're going to make sure you got what you need. And they'll never let you drown. And it's a different community in that aspect. And one thing that I can tell you, I never went to a white or a top 25 university, but I've hung around rich and wealthy white people and black people.
And you can tell the difference.
And you could party every fucking night and not reach in your fucking pocket. But nobody's going to make sure you got deodorant.
Yeah.
Nah, that's real.
Do that make sense?
Nah,
I had this one class.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Listen,
It makes perfect sense.
And we know why.
real quick, right? And I
Because we
think it
the
would have
party.
been different. Listen, bro, I think this would have been different. Tell me if it would have been different. I never brought this up to you. I probably said it before, but I had this one class, marketing. I had a 98 in the class, right? But the syllabus said you couldn't be absent more than 5 times. I was absent more than 5 times. I got an F. But I had a 98. A 98.
You went to your dean's office? I mean, you went to your
They told me at school, they told me I couldn't get it because the syllabus said at the beginning of the semester that I could not be absent more than 5 times. So I got the F and I did it for average because of it. Wouldn't that have been a different HBCU?
Possibly, depending on your professor. Like, nothing's absolute. Like, let's not get confused.
No, I
absolute.
I think they gave me that. I think they pulled me aside when I got to number 4. I feel like when at number 4, they been like, yo, you can't be absent no more. Don't fuck yourself.
We need to talk. But and that's a difference. That's one difference but that's also not absolute because every professor is not black. Your math teacher, your science teacher is Indian or Asian.
And this is the other part of that too. When you say not black, even if they're black, at an HBCU, they gotta have that perspective. Because
some of them is black. Some of them is finished their term.
You got black folk that look at it like,
but let me give my example though. This happened to me, right?
At 98.
I had a teacher. She was my bio teacher, I believe. It was a science, and I cheated on every fucking test. I wore a big hat and I wore my glasses every time I had a test. And it's a lab table. I'm picking the best out of every 4 answers. So I'm getting better grades than the niggas that study because it's BBA, then I'm putting B. Right. You know what I mean? Like I'm killing. But then I started going through stuff. I lost a lot of people that meant something to me, family-wise.
That must be some ENS stuff because Jim said the same thing.
No, you don't understand.
No, it must be some ENS stuff.
It got crazy. No, Jim actually was the master of cheating.
But that's what he told us. And he said the same thing about the bees. And like, go ahead. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. I learned from my man. That's my nigga.
I told you, I'm like, I know that theory.
That's my partner in crowd. We got booked with the both of them.
Yo, cheating was a pride thing for me, dog. I couldn't do it.
No, listen.
And I used to be like, yo, wow.
I was never the
like, I didn't look at none of my folks that was cheating like, damn, you got it.
No.
I didn't look at them like, yo, you out of pocket. But for me, it was just like it was an ego thing. Yeah. Like, oh,
I'm a different. No. This is how my arrogance superseded that.
Right.
I wouldn't peek over your shoulder. I'll take your answer sheet off your fucking desk and copy the whole fucking thing, and it's your job to cover and make sure that they don't know you at.
Right,
bro. I was drawn.
I see.
Like you don't understand. Like City used to be with the ones that was programmed.
Let me tell you what City did when we came to class. Hold on, bro. Let me tell you what he used to do. We was all in the same class. Oh, you remember my fight?
I've been there, man.
Let me tell you what actually was. So
a lot of times.
You know, in the class like 300 people. How many people? It's 4 or however many tests. It's 4 different tests.
Yep.
He like here, he go 3, he go 3, he go 3. You get number 3, you get like we all get the same test. You know, he used to fuck you up with like.
No, he did that in 9th grade. This is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They stole the teacher's fucking book with all the fucking scores in it and changed everybody's grade on the subway.
Oh, you got better at Central.
We had next level shit going on.
My homegirl changed my report card.
Niggas, these
not my
became
grades, but I was cutting. My homegirl had a real report card that my dad signed. My dad was a publisher for a newspaper.
Yo, you know what's crazy about that though? Again, that's you know what's crazy? That's
grade.
Again, that's the
honors grade.
That's the
I had fake money in 9th grade.
That's the honor student.
Not a plug one.
That's the honor student experience.
Exactly.
Because
listen, this fucking good.
We think so far. Like these motherfuckers know, like, yo, you cheating, but it takes intellect to be able to cheat on this
real shit.
Like on real shit. Like, yo,
if I could copy your whole page in 30 seconds as opposed to me peeking over your fucking arm for the whole test, rational, that makes more sense to me. It wasn't so much bullying as it was like, nigga.
Yo, I gotta
what we doing?
Plan here.
I did the Mike Stevens doing on growing pains, yo. I used to write my fucking answers and shit so I could cheat. But my dumb ass will remember the shit because I wrote it down, so I ain't even.
No, a lot of people used to say that. He's like, I wrote a cheat sheet, but you can have it because I know that shit. And
that was Mike Seaver doing off growing pains, yo. I swear I did that shit on so many times.
I had a teacher.
Yo, because I don't come from, I don't know if y'all do. I love talking to other honor students on some real shit. Not that
I'm not calling myself an honor student, but I went to magnet school.
But I know what it is. I know what it is. It's a difference. You know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's a difference. It's a difference, and you know what it is. But no, it be this thing of, yo,
you brighter than me.
What influenced you though?
To do what?
Like anything. Like, what was your motivation to do anything? Coming from where we come, I think about this shit
What
by
I learned
myself.
with my friends
Like,
was
yo,
everything that
So I had the
motivated
best
me
of
was
both
wrong.
worlds. So my dad, from Sunday to Thursday, I slept in damn near a mansion in a quiet neighborhood.
Ain't no damn near nothing. Don't you damn near me. I seen the house. Go ahead.
And on the weekends, I was in the hood on 60th Street.
right.
So I had a balanced market.
Okay.
The Wilson Soul. I had my first drink when I
That
was
shit
11.
real.
My
At the
people
Wilson Soul.
That shit real.
And we talk about this
You see
all,
what I'm saying?
we talk about this all the time. I had my first drink at the Wilson Soul when I was 11. Mad Dog 2020. First drink. 11.
Horrible.
I used to come to elementary school. I used to come back to
Never again drink.
I used to come
You
back
used to
to
come to
6th
school
grade
and talk about it.
how fucked up I was on the weekend. I used to be smoking weed and drinking Mad
We in
Dog.
private school.
We in private school. With you
Niggas is looking at her like
She's different.
but she still south. She still
But my whole point was, guess what? Sunday through
She still
Thursday, I was
sing.
here. And I was smart. I was always smart. I was on honor roll my
and
whole
she
life.
played football with us on concrete.
So it was both because I was in West Philly. Had I been in the corner, I might have been jumping double dutch. I might have been playing with my ball.
Now y'all don't. Now this is the thing though. Y'all don't come from the something wrong with you because you're smart, like you want to be white. Because I don't come from there. Like when I hear
I was going to say that.
I
Hold on.
experienced
Real quick.
that, and I put that on my other people.
I was going to say that for the sake
That's
that, hold
one of
on,
my
bring it
things
back
I
to
do.
you know how I do my mental Rolodex, so shout out to that. What I want to do is bring it to one of your very first comments or quotes or comments when you were talking about how when you was in your situation, you told your family like, yo, don't tell nobody this.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I already took that it was a certain type of situation for yourself and your family, and that's not something that you highlight. Because a lot of people be like, yo, I did a bid, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I did a bid, blah, blah, blah. You wasn't with that. So for me, I already took it like, damn, he come from a certain upbringing. He has a certain background. He has a certain, you know what I'm saying? Like,
First time I got suspended, my mom, part of that ass whooping was, we don't get suspended in this
let
family.
me tell you something.
You know what's crazy about that?
I never ever
Yo,
been suspended a day in my
That's
life.
what I was about
Never.
to say. I never
I
been
got
suspended. Yo, I never been suspended.
Nah,
I never was
she
in
knows
trouble.
that.
Well, they tried to suspend me. I was like, nah, because such and such and such and such. That's where CJ get it from, obviously.
Always got suspended.
Because Miss Hicks ain't suspend me.
I was never disrespectful or none of that shit. Like, I never, I'm always at school on time, and like, it was never no reason for external ways to suspend me.
Right.
Always got in fights.
Yeah.
I had a bad temper in middle school. My mom worked at the school.
Yeah, so he
And
kind of
was
good, he
beautiful.
kind of wasn't.
So when everybody was at their height of their mom jokes, I knew they wasn't joking about mine.
Right.
Because I know what your mom looked like. Nobody wants to
So
fuck.
guess
Yo,
what?
it's
So
You see what I'm
crazy.
saying?
It was
In
different for
elementary
guys
school,
when we
and
were.
I always like to Meade Elementary School. I always like to shout them out because when I was in elementary school, yo, these was revolutionary teachers.
It's the foundation.
And when I say that, I mean like I remember in fourth
And
grade, I
then the
tell
Turner,
everybody the
Turner,
story
right?
because I want people to
Turner, right?
Turner too.
Yeah.
But me,
I went to school with a lot of
18th
Turner
for
kids.
Oxford. This when we lived down 18th for Master.
Oh,
Yo,
right, you in North.
listen,
Okay.
man. In the fourth grade, I'll never forget this shit. Two Jones. There's a lot of stories I could tell about elementary school. Elementary school is vivid for me, dog, because of these
That's
teachers.
true.
Because of these teachers. But I remember in fourth grade, I had a teacher named Miss Bollard, right? It was a young boy named Samuel. His mom, like, whatever their situation was, hair was never cut, never clean, never eaten. Yo, this woman, when she first peeped it, she disciplined. She gripped him all up and all that. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? But every day after that, he was coming to school. She brought clothes to school. She brought food to school. Our class would start 10, 15 minutes late because she would be in the bathroom washing him up, changing his clothes, making sure he was fed before he came into class. And sat next to her in the class. And yo, in fourth grade, like, imagine what
And
that.
shout out to him because
I don't know what's
He
going on
needed
with
that.
Samuel right now.
he accepted it.
He needed it.
Yo,
Because
I
when she
never-
scolded him, there was a conversation after that.
Cause she checked him. I
He
remember
had
she
to-
gripped him all up. I'm like,
he
oh,
had to
it's
accept
different.
the help.
Cause my mom was the type of mom she pop up in the doorway on you
Mm.
on a Tuesday.
That's how I am.
When you think it ain't nothing going on, my
Mm.
mom in the doorway like,
That's how I
oh,
am.
oh, you talking too much? Bring your ass out here in
That's
the
how I
hallway.
am.
You know what I
support that
mean?
shit to my kids. Yes.
But, and you gotta do that. You have, that's mandatory. I try to tell all parents, I know black women, black men dealing with what we deal with. You don't always have the time to come to the school. But when you do get that little bit of time, instead of sitting there and smoking or watching TV and
please go to the
Get
school
you an hour.
in the doorway.
Why you use an hour
in the doorway? One time it changed the child's life, yo. One time.
Bro, for sure. But I just wanted to mention to you
My
real
mom was
quick.
kind of hard.
So I moved to a neighborhood. I'm not gonna say I moved intentionally for my children. When I had children, I already started looking for areas to move outside the city.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time they I was on waiting list for shit when they was babies, right? And I didn't put them into daycare until they was 3. Right?
I'm battling with that shit right now, dog. That's a hard job. Yeah, my daughter mom is like, oh, we gotta work. And we ain't together no more, so it's like,
it's a little different.
what do we do? And it's like, oh, I don't want her in daycare so she can talk. And it's like, that's not realistic sometimes. You know what I mean?
I was blessed
so that's a hard job, dog. I commend you.
With society,
yeah,
I was blessed to have family.
I commend you.
I was so blessed to have family.
We be battling with that shit,
I was so blessed to have family. But also, so when I did after that, I was also blessed to be able to buy a home outside of the city. And the area that I live, what I want to say was as though like it's so important for I have 2 boys. I don't have any daughters. I have 2 boys. It's so important for them to have not only black teachers, but do you know how thankful I am? My son's principal is a black man.
Yes.
And they have an assistant principal that's a black woman.
That's major.
And I don't live in the city.
That's major.
I live in a county. And I don't live in Delaware County. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, one thing we always salute is the elementary and middle school we went to, which was a black private school.
Absolutely.
Which made every month Black History Month.
Yo, that's what my daughter.
Every day was Black History Month.
Listen, everything.
We learned every day.
I already got it in my
That's why people like, I'm black every month. Like, nigga, I celebrate Black History Month and I know what it is to be. Do it every day.
Do you know how appreciative I am to have a principal and an associate principal?
No, because it feels familiar with you.
I'm about to cry right now. Like, I'm not going to. I just want to know how real it is.
No, I know what it is.
I don't have no lashes. We talk about how
I think about this with my daughter all the time. Like now, like she ain't talking yet, right? But everything is physical with her. Yeah. Like she lets you know. It's like I understand nonverbal communication.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like we don't understand. That's 85% of communication.
Sure.
Talk is a small thing, even though it seems
slow and deaf because she wouldn't talk. And when she started talking, she was speaking in complete
this little girl, listen.
And I was young, and I was like, "Yo, y'all have understood everything that she's ever told y'all to do before she talks. Why does she have to talk?"
That's the thing. People was like, "Yo, I don't know if y'all should start potty training at 18 months, right?" But I peaked at like 12 months. She would like be on a squat down joint, and she would go in her little on the side, comfortable, right?
And surprise, she like,
so listen, her mom was like, "Yo, we need to start potty training." But me and her mom, we bang out about a lot of shit. That's why we not together. But one thing we don't bang out about is Suhana. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, "Yo, you doing this? All right, I got you." So when she was like, "Drew, I started potty training her," I'm like, "Yeah, I got it. We got 3 potties. Thanks to all the people who gave us crazy shit. Oh, we had 2 and 3 of everything for the gender reveal. We didn't even have to have a baby shower. That's how dope, and I appreciate all the people in my life. And in my head, I'm like, because my daughter mom younger than me. You know what I'm saying? I don't hide from nothing. You can't bring nothing up to me and be like, "What the fuck you doing?" Like, yo, it was organic. Yeah. But my daughter mom, it didn't work out, but we still raised our daughter. She's a hell of a mom. A hell of a mom. I don't agree with a lot of shit. We argue. We go through a lot of shit. It's a progress. You know, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? But she said, "Listen, every morning I put her on the potty." I'm like, "All right, bet." When she comes to the crib, I got the potty. We gonna do it. While the baby get up, I open the window. That's something I did. She like looking out the window because we don't do the TV. I don't like TV. She has this crazy thing about Boss Baby. I don't like that. I don't like that Boss Baby can calm you down. Oh, Daddy should be able to calm you down. Well, I gotta turn on Boss Baby. But that's another story. Y'all know how it goes with the TV shit with the babies and developmental issues and all of that. Absolutely. So we don't do no TV.
I'm breaking my kids out of there with the iPad.
That's my sister right there.
Oh, okay.
They ready to ride on you. They don't know who you is.
It's all love. It's all
That's
love.
my sister Bonnie and shit.
If anybody coming here like that, it's all love.
I got 4 sisters. Bonnie, Tanya, Leisha, Dee, you know what I'm saying? But she told me like, "Yo, I'm potty training." So I get up, I get her, you know what I'm saying? She started working at Einstein, so I got her more now. You dig me what I'm saying? In the morning, I put her on the potty. She peed the first couple of times. I'm like, yo. And then after she peed, yeah, she don't say nothing. She don't say potty or whatever, but she know what it is. So when I put her on the potty, she pee.
But guess what?
And then she get up. And then I peep the next day. Oh, she don't get up until she do what she gonna do. She pee again. Then she like trying to get up. So I'm trying to keep her in the seat, but then I look. Oh, she done. She peed again.
Then the next day she poof. I'm looking there. She every time she go to the bathroom, then she get up. When I put her on a potty, she don't fight me. She don't do nothing. I put her on a potty. But this is what I said, damn, a lot of people get caught on she not saying nothing. No, but she understands, dog.
Non-verbal cues.
Like I said,
that's 85% of communication.
And from what I heard, I was way harder to find.
I learned, I got bored.
And now we trying to take it into the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little later. Candy, it's Candy Burris from Escape. I saw her. I watched her journey. She was like potty training her son from when he was like 6 months. When he was a baby, she was putting him on potty. And I thought I didn't understand it.
Right.
But I saw the progress. I absolutely believe in it.
Nah, listen, man. From me knowing what it is, communication-wise, that people don't have to talk to communicate.
No, look at him.
So now I don't look at her. And my sister will probably tell you, you know what I mean? We ain't going to bring her to the show, but she'll try to take the show over. So sit your ass right there, chill, do what you going to do. Because she going to bro it. She going to bro it. We can't give her no length. She going to bro it. But,
I got you next time.
But I learned that later in life, 85% of communication is non-verbal. I teach my class that. Yes. A motherfucker will tell you everything you need to know about them before they say. I mean, like,
it can all have that shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It can all be positive. It doesn't have to be bad. It's natural.
No, that's great.
But learning how to control, just like you said earlier, like, man, I've had to bite my tongue before. Like, bro, everything ain't about a win. And why fucking punch a brick wall? Like, at some point, it's like, you know what? It is what it is, bro.
It is what it is.
And you got it. Or whatever have you. But you live to debate another day.
And that's my thing about the social media thing, too. Like, it'll never be a time. And I said it, I think you was at the John the one day. I was on Chicken Them Show. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, I had to get this out. Like, it'll never be a time where you'll see me going at or debating with somebody else that say they out in these communities helping on social media. Like, why would we be? What the fuck do that look like?
Why are we fighting each other about
I'm trying to tackle food insecurity. We just gonna say that. Mm-hmm. When I'm giving out food, we doing these food for families, not free food, but food for families. And you over here dealing with these young boys trying to keep them from shooting each other.
Yeah.
Why? How the fuck that? Like, how would I ever? Why would I ever debate about? Oh, you talking about treat your trauma? That's some bullshit. What are we talking about? Yeah. What are we talking about here? I will never be in no debate with another social activist like we on some gang shit. Yeah. Now, if you're an opportunist, you're an opportunist. Capitalism dictates that. It's gonna make certain people opportunists. This is what it's gonna be, whether they realize it or not. We ain't gonna sit here and argue about this shit. Like, we ain't gonna debate about it.
I'm gonna take it further a little bit, and then we're gonna wrap this because y'all see the situation. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like I told you off camera, when I moved into this space of entertainment, media, whatever you want to call it, because I exist in all of that, I'm no longer beefing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get in beefs with people in this realm when I've been around real shit. When I've had to worry about getting my homie back because somebody took him.
Yeah.
I can't get in arguments about stature that lead to shit that starts feeling like shit that I fucking fought through all.
Yeah, I ain't
and that's what
I'm scared as fuck to even tap back into that energy because I know that within a week worth of me doing my walk, there's a bunch of people that can be positively affected by that. So I can't lose time on these streets.
Like I said, and I told you again, like you said off camera, I told you, I said, yo, man, I know where this can go.
Yeah.
I know the type
I know what I'm capable of.
I know what I'm capable of.
I know the army
around me, the people who feel like I'm the way out. I know what they look. I know what it look like. Even a motherfucker like, you just got a podcast. You just teaching that high day. But it's cats that know me like, yo, if I attach myself to this, we ain't gonna have to be out here doing this some work. I'm not letting you mess that up.
I'll simplify it for the idiots. If you swing on a nigga on the court, you fight his best friend. Swing on the coach. Mm-hmm. Swing on the fucking coach. Yeah. Whole nother reaction.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
You see what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Like, it is what it is. Like, you gotta simplify. Like, we gotta get cliff notes.
You right.
Because at some point, motherfuckers like, well, I ain't never did that.
Like, no, I'm a chill. Not because I'm soft, not because I'm a chill because I understand where it's going. Yeah. My man might not chill because you putting his whole household in jeopardy.
Yeah.
That's what you not understanding. He not chill. He willing to take the risk because he already took the risk. to put his house. He done already been in the street. He done shoot. He done sold. He done been back and forth to prison on the strength of his family. Not on the strength because he want to have the gaudy shit. He want to drop on the strength of his family. It's still cats out here that be in the street on the strength of their family. So when they see a brother that they respect, that they got love for, we've been through the trenches together, and they like, yo, Big Gru got a plan. Monster Cali got a plan. You think they not gonna risk? You think they're not gonna risk it for that? When they risked it for other shit? That's the shit that people don't understand. That's the reason why I'm talking to you calmly when I really should be going upside your head. Because I know what my man gonna do. And I know what his wife gonna be left with if he do what I know he gonna do.
But see, that's
why we choose a whole different, like, that's why we do what we do.
But you wind up in dimensions at that point. Because the actuality of the fact that even if I attacked you, I would grab you by your throat or smack you. Because there's no need to shoot you.
I'm stuck.
You're not even built like that. Like, I know I don't have to shoot you. You're not cut. So me talking calmly is a whole nother dimension from where this shit should be right now. Because what I'm capable of and what I've done and who respects that, nobody will blink if I push go because they know that I balance my shit. Yeah. They know that what I do was accountable.
He had to do it. He had to do it.
It wasn't
proving nothing. I'm not trying to push go. Like, what are we pushing go for at this point?
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I mean?
That's what I was saying a few moments ago when I said we do.
Like I said, I'm not interested.
It's not for no purpose. It's not like without purpose.
I'm not interested.
It's without purpose. It's not without purpose.
So people be like, yo, you be being too nice. You don't be saying that motherfuckers getting off. I'm like, they're not really getting off.
I think my battle.
I've been hearing that.
Yeah, you let them get off.
How I used to be growing up.
Yo, now listen. When I tell you,
but when my husband passed last year, I'm in that note where I can't argue. I can't fuss right now because
how much energy do you have? Right. When you got a battery that has a certain amount of cells in it, how much can you give to motherfuckers that's not benefiting?
Nothing is allocated for that. No allocations, no.
Like, I can't I
tell shit. I know you're like I'm going to the whole story about it, but yo, I tell people about her. Like, yo,
you briefly mentioned her before.
Tenacity, dog. Like out here trying to rip eyes out, and you know what I mean. That shit ain't nothing to take no pride in. But I'm just saying from what I was watching, like motherfuckers begging, yo, get her off me. You dig what I'm saying? For her to be now on some tip, like, I don't feel like that all that. I seen it with my own eyes as a man. Like, yo, look like she got tenacity.
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you go.
It's crazy.
Get her off. I just want to mention the one thing real quick. That shout out to for sure. I just want to mention this. I also like kind of bring it around. So I saw one of my old heads who was highly respected in the game. Go ahead, though. No, because it's the same thing.
We need to wrap this.
I am, but my whole it's the same thing. Like it's too late for this shit. Like we gotta do what we supposed to do. We're not here for nothing else. We gotta do what we supposed to do.
All right, cool. Where can they find you at?
I hate you.
Yo, literally, I've been getting a rap singing.
PSA _community, Jarue Lawson, Orgy 1978. You know, we do PSA Philly service announcement, glocawearradiostation radio every Tuesday, 5 to 6. Yeah. Love, support, grace. That's what we doing out here. Come get what you need. I learned that from this brother right here. You gotta have a joint. You gotta have a joint. You gotta have a joint.
So, you know, follow up on the Glocawear family. This is definitely Glocawear family. You can check us every fly day at Glocawear from 3 to 4. My fly girls and my guys have it from 4 to 6. 4 to 6. My fly boys are there, and we're at Glocawear. We here at SippinWitSammie. We take over happy hours, right? Happy hours. We got them. But real quick, about me, check me out on SippinMagazine.com. Holler at us from education, entertainment. We have you everything from a positive perspective.
This is forever will be and always will be. SippinWitSammie, Sammie alone, Barstool, rule. If you ain't SippinWitSammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. Please support everybody that you see on this platform, and you'll see more of Jarue very soon.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all, man. I'll be back. We're gonna do it, post blackout. Post blackout.
We rock that shit though. We rock it.
No doubt.
Nothing straightening but straightening, or a little bit of act right. Never gonna see me. I'm in the dark with a flashlight. Streets guess what my stats like. I'm broke, baby, my stats lie. You woke, baby, is that right? Baggy sweats, but that ass right. Like what you know, what you need to learn. Word sister, you don't need a perm. Got trees if you need to burn, but roll a few, we ain't take a turn. We can chat even to a bit. Bro, sweetie ain't new to this. 215 where I grew and shit, but up top really do this shit. I ain't did it on the courts, like I ain't did it in the streets, like I ain't put up on the boards, like it ain't dirt on these cleats, like I ain't the one you call the game from, I'm the one you got your name from, like who you salute, one and the same, I'm the same one, but I'm Rugen not the same gun, like never talked cause I had teeth, like never spoke when I had beef, like we them boys on the back streets, like we the ones that they pack heat, like same ones that they grab sneaks, like too fly, can never fall, like respectfully I forever saw, like